Thank you, Greg.
The final season is here. The Roys are back, bringing all their family drama, and it's just the kind of crack we need. But why should you care? Well, thank you for asking. Now shut up and let me tell you. So far, Succession has gifted us with 3 glorious seasons, with each one just getting better and better, providing a little extra spice each and every time.
Let me add a little bit of spice to that.
Season 1 set the scene, Season 2 brought us some movement along a few character arcs, and then Season 3 bestowed upon us the battleground of pent-up trauma and family conflict. But how does this all make Succession so great, and why should you watch it? Well, if I'm being honest, I don't just quite remember the last time a show managed to do everything Succession does, successfully. It manages to balance moments of painful watching and instances of elation. It is an exemplar in demonstrating the push-pull dynamic that so appeals to us humans, and is probably the cause for the show's highly popular nature. I mean, we've all had that moment in time where we've been interested in a certain individual, who goes from showing affection to then keeping their distance. And what does it do to us? Well, it just makes us like them a little bit more. And we see this dynamic displayed in the characters regularly. Logan, the patriarchal driving force of the business, is often seen as a domineering figure, but at the same time is shown to piss in the bedroom corner and be under the illusion as to the presence of a dead cat. The fact that one of the first scenes in the show demonstrates this strange behaviour sets up the continued contrast that the show perpetuates. On the other hand, we see it with Kendall, who can go from the depravity of addiction with all of its unintended consequences, to then making bold policy U-turn decisions at a press conference and blasting a slanderous Nirvana song at a shareholder meet. We then have Tom, who can go from dominating Gregory to cowing to Shiv. All the characters have this duality to them. It is what makes them interesting, despite their insipid nature, and boy, does it keep the plot interesting. Because this yin and yang behaviour, this push-pull dynamic, it keeps us in the dark. As for every good action, there is so often an immoral one waiting around the corner. This fine balance of character traits and behaviour keeps us as the audience on our toes. And when it is interwoven with the archetypal plot about a power struggle, well, then you just get a masterpiece. Because that, in my humble and yet categorically true opinion, is what Succession is. It's something that can be called modern-day Shakespeare. And before you say how much did Mark Mylod pay you to say that, let me remind you of something. Season 3's final scene. In case you've forgotten, let me remind you. Certain to their chance of victory, Kendall, Roman and Shiv make a charge on the bastion that is Logan, assured at their ability to overthrow the behemoth and run the company themselves. And at this point, you the viewer are all on board. You even get some of their level of conviction in just watching them drive to the destination of the confrontation. But just as quick as they stride in do they realise the futile point of their actions, for betrayal has been committed, by a lover and a mother. The dialogue, the demeanour and the body language all scream a fistfight, but that is what it is not, for this is a fight of a different nature. A fight with words and ideas. And that is about as Shakespearean as it comes. No less because the culprit for betrayal is old Tom, the man who is often undervalued and overlooked, by his wife and by his company. But for the first notable time, he's made a stand. He made something for himself and cousin Greg. The domineered has become the dominant, because Tom has been seduced by power, throwing his wife down the stairs for a seat at the table. The struggle for power in this show is very Mafia-esque in what it says about us humans, that in the wrong situation and with the right reasons, we too might sacrifice a lover for our own benefit. For the quest of supremacy is a tale as old as time, and it only adds to the attractiveness of the show, because there aren't really any good guys to root for. Sorry, Kendall fanboys. Everyone is flawed, and yet at the same time, they all think they are perfectly suited to take over, void of imperfection. Self-deception is rife in Succession, but so is it in our lives as well. We might think the billion-dollar lifestyle and the $1,000 Loro Piana baseball caps relegate the Roys to their own league, but as people, they are much more like us than we care to admit. It's subtle, but the separation between the viewer and the character is not so big, and the illusion that it is just speaks further to the show's genius, because when the children are on the battleground of dialogue, exchanging blows of words, it's folly to think they are overtly different from us. I think this is all more than enough to provide a compelling case to watch the show, but when you throw in the theme tune as well, goh, what a production you have. It's something about that ascending crescendo on the top of all this pandemonium that makes you powerless to stop the hairs on your skin rising up in an indescribable mix of anticipation and excitement. Watching Logan or Kendall march on with purpose to the sound of Nicholas Brittle is enough to motivate you to storm into a board meeting and overthrow a desk or two. The hold that this theme tune has on me, and many others, is immeasurable, and my god, does it only add to Succession's grandeur. So, if for some unfortunate reason you feel inadequate in the ocean of society, with the waves of repetitive action beating you down, a dose of Succession should be sure to help. Succession will make you laugh, and it will also probably want to make you as ruthless as some of the characters are in the show. But what it will certainly do is entertain you. I, for one, cannot wait until Season 4 of Succession airs. I await the opportunity to fully analyse the characters, their motivations and their aims, and to see who takes up the mantle of responsibility that is running Waystar Royco. For any thoughts and feelings you have on the show, leave them in the comments below, and thank you for watching.